Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Lamp. I'm your host, James Lampkin. And my guest today is the founder of Robert Williams Films, Mr. Robert Williams. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Man, listen, I always say this, but thank you because your platform is like really taking off. You got hundreds of thousands of followers, and nothing about you has changed, man. So and I think, I call you every time I call you, you be like, yeah, we can get it set up. And then as soon as I came up with the date, you was like, yeah, let's do it. So man, thank you, bro.
Yeah. It's too easy, man. Anytime you make the call, I was telling my wife. I think we did every form of podcast that you had. We went over the phone, and then we did Zoom, and now we here face to face, and it's good because I ain't seen you in a long time. So appreciate the love, man. It's always been there, mutual respect, man. Like I said, thanks for bringing me back, bro.
Yes, sir. First of all, how's everything going, man?
Everything is going good. Everything is going good. I'm a guy who, it don't take much to please me, man. Family is doing good. I'm employed somewhat right now, but yeah, and I'm just able to, enjoy my peace, at the crib with the family, man. That's all it takes for me. So it's good, man.
And it's good that you mentioned family because I told you before we started recording that was the motivation for you to come back because people see your skits and they know how funny you are, but people like I don't know if they understand how much of a family man that you are. Like you've been married 25 years. I was like, when I saw that, I said, wait, what?
Yeah.
He been married. I was like 25. Like I was like, I don't even know if he old enough to be married 25 years. Like y'all ain't married 25 years. So how do you make that work, man?
25 years of marriage?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, you got to have a willing participant on the other side first, and then I'll tell you, man, like time really flies. And, I could sit here, I don't really have advice for people because everybody is different, So what works for what me and my wife is doing because of our personalities and our traits may not work for someone else.
Mhm.
So I try not to offer advice, but my thing is just, getting to like that person. Love is there. I mean, you be with somebody, the mother of your children and somebody that you truly care for, the love is already there. But liking, like, do you like them? Like is almost important than love. I truly believe that. Like, I have to like you too. So I like her. You know what I mean? We were friends that developed into best friends because now we work from home now, and that pandemic thing it helped. It hurt. I'm sure it hurt some people. Like, yo, I gotta be with you all day long. Nah, it was good, man. So we laugh, man. We have a really good time together. We still date. We don't make it a point to, like, set a schedule to go out on dates or anything like that. It's just, when we could fit it in, it's important for us to, have some time together. But yeah, that's you do that, man, over the course of 25 years, and next thing you know, you at 25 years. It's like, where did time go? Because when you said that, like, I still say to myself, like, 25, it don't feel like 25, but this it's been a good 25. We work, we communicate. Um, that's probably been the best thing is, because there's going to be situations and disagreements. So it's important to communicate upfront. Don't hold back. Don't be afraid to hurt somebody's feelings. I know I haven't been the best at that because my wife is super cool. She don't like the confrontations and nothing like that. But I try to push her buttons just to get her to, show love, or show a love that how I show. And that's it, man.
You said hurt you have to hurt their feelings? Like
No, you don't have to hurt their feelings. I'm just saying, like, for my wife, with her personality, she don't want to be confrontational, right? And I'm more like, we need to address it. So I got to push her buttons a little bit to get her to, because she may not say, okay, baby, I got an issue with this as soon as I will. Like me, I'm gonna say it immediately.
Okay.
But her, I know. I mean, I just know I've been with her for a long. It's not done to. I just know how to get her to say something, and she may have to yell at me. She may have to throw some, but I got that out because I need to hear it. And we both do better at it. This don't happen all the time. Like, um, it's just that sometimes you gotta, force. you gotta bring it out of her, man. And I get on her. It's nobody like my wife, man. She's super cool, super dope. Everybody loves her. But she'll curse you out, man. Me out.
Yeah.
You know me, because I'm the one that's trying to get the most out of her, man. And it's all coming from a good place. So
How did y'all meet?
military, Fort Sam Houston, 97. She was new to the unit, and when the pretty girl come to the unit, come to the job, everybody like, oh, what's going on? So, of course, I did the same thing, and had my eye on her, and we went to a club. It could have been that weekend, and with all the little privates meet up, and yeah, we went there. I remember it was this dude. I knew him. We didn't hang out like that, but I told him, I'm like, I'm about to go talk to this girl right here. And he like jumped in front of me, was like, no, you're not. I'm gonna talk to her. Me, I'm like, it's plenty in here. You can go ahead. So he actually began dating her. So I would see him. They stayed on the second floor. And during that time, and he was a bonehead, man. This dude wasn't treating her good or whatever. But I was doing my thing too. I had a girlfriend, so I was trying to speak to her. She wouldn't even look in my direction, man. How you try to see if it's something there, and you look, and she just like she had tunnel vision, so I could see that she either was seriously into this dude or she was mad at him about something. So that didn't work. And then finally, we both got part-time jobs at Domino's Pizza. And her girl, shout out to Pearson, Angie P. She was like, I think you and Will would be a nice thing together. Y'all might be a nice item. And she was like, I'm gonna tell him to come up here and work. And she broke up with the dude by then.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, all right, I'll go there to work. I needed the extra money. So I was delivering there, and she came out on a couple deliveries with me, and it was a wrap from there. Told a couple of jokes. She was laughing her behind off, man. I'll never forget. And from there, it was like we just hooked up.
So I guess being funny is a real thing.
It is, yeah, man. It works, especially if you ain't got no game. I ain't had no game now. So I had to try something. I was like, I was slipping forward to like, what I mean, do something goofy to try to get a girl's attention back then. I wasn't too good, man. It wasn't a speech impediment. I had a little stutter, and I was like, nah, I gotta try something, man. And so jokes was it for me, man.
Man, how did you start to know like she was the one?
To be totally honest, because the first year that we got married, the first two actually it was kind of rough. It was just us two. We was young. We was still going out. We were partying and all of that stuff. So it was rough. We argued a lot those first couple of years, but when she became a mother and I saw that side of her, the nurturing mother aspect, like she was just instant. She was drawn to her children. It was like, and I saw that after being with somebody for 3 or 4 years, and you see this side of them now, and it's a totally different side. And just was like, wow, that was sexy to me, man. So I was like, nah, it was just real from there. You know what I mean? So
So it sounds like if I'm hearing you correctly,
uh
you wasn't ready to be married when you first got married.
I wasn't. I didn't realize. I thought I was, but fast forward years later, I found out. Did we have this conversation before? Never about this.
We maybe on the other podcast.
Yeah, we could
I
tell
don't
her
know.
no. Yeah, but no, it was infatuation, man. I realized later it was not love. I thought it was,
Uh,
We rushed into we knew we wanted to wait a year uh and then get married because she couldn't live off post. She was an E4 at the time. So she had to stay on post unless she was married. So I didn't have no money. I was fresh out the army. I didn't even really have a job yet. So I couldn't afford to live off post by myself. So we was like, let's just go ahead and get married. We wanted to wait. My wife was really deep into the Bible at this time. And so she was like, nah, we ain't supposed to be rushing like this, but we end up doing it. And good thing we did, because if we didn't, we probably wouldn't. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about 25 years of marriage, man.
Wow.
Because yeah, but we thought that we loved each other. I can't speak for her,
Mhm.
but I found out years later as my feelings began to develop more for her that yeah, oh now this is what love feel like. Being with her, seeing her day to day, get up, grind, the nurturing thing that I mentioned, that all of that was just like, wow, this is a woman. This is the woman that I want to be with, somebody I want to be with. And so that's what came. I can't tell you exactly when that was, but like I was saying, when the kids came, that was definitely something that I looked at and said, this is different right here.
Was you scared it wouldn't work out? Because you said y'all moved everything up. Like you kind of the pace got accelerated.
Yeah.
So was you scared like things may not work out?
I'm not sure. I just knew that I wanted to be with her and give it a try,
Mhm.
to see if it can work out because up until that point we was actually separated uh, for a year and a half, and then we moved in together. We didn't even live together. Like we stayed in the barracks a few nights,
Mm.
but we never lived together. And that was, if I could tell, I said I ain't got no advice for nobody, but that's one of just thinking about it. Live with somebody, get to know them, see how they,
Mm.
live, how they, they how they move day to day inside the house. We already know that you could, look good and be attracted to someone outside of the house, but what about inside? So that's something that I would highly encourage people to do.
Well, even okay, but you say she grew up like deeply religious and like
No, she didn't grow up that way. She got into the Bible around that time. She was like she wanted to start fresh, and so she was going to church.
okay.
She was doing that, but she didn't grow up that way. I actually did, but
So, because the reason I said that wasn't like a conflict, because people really in the church that was shacking up. They
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
doing that.
Well, it was kind of too late for her because I'm not. It wasn't too late. I mean, as far as because we had this conversation, she actually told me no at first when I asked her, if she wanted to get married. She said no because she was, we was living a certain way that wasn't, of the words in the Bible.
Yeah.
So, so but she kind of flipped like I had already shacked up with her, and then she got into the Bible, and
Oh.
now so already we was already doing this, so it was like I get you. I'm gonna get there with you one day. I may not be there, day one, but I want to get into the Bible too. But right now, I already I already know what the what your walk with the Lord was
Yeah,
slow, huh?
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So we worked it out together. We kind of but no, I wasn't worried about her it not working out. I would just wanted to be with her to see where we could take it.
So for you growing up as a kid, what was your upbringing like?
My upbringing, it was first of all, it was great. I grew up with my mother's side of the family, my mother's side of the family. My mom and dad were both from the Trenton, New Jersey area. But he left when they separated. He kept on doing the military thing, so we went to live with my mother's side of the family. So we grew up with all of my aunts and uncles and cousins, and it was deep. So, all of that, with the kids get together, they sleeping over and, sleeping in the same room, wake up, eating the same thing where it's like 5 or 10 of us. I experienced that. So that's something that my kids don't have. They, had their own rooms growing up, and it was the opposite for me. Like I had sleeping with cousins. But yeah, it was that my grandfather, we stayed with him majority of the time. He was a deacon in church, heavy religious.
Oh, okay.
And so, we was out there ripping and running in the streets, but we had him in the house. We had what we call prayer time every single night.
All right.
Everybody in the house would have to come in, and he would pray over the family, and then we recite the Lord's Prayer at the end of the prayer
Wow.
every single night. And so, being, young in the streets and stuff like that, we would try not to be there at a certain time at night because we was used to it. But our friends would come over, like they'll tell me to this day, we would laugh at it. We would just scream prayer time. Prayer time. That's what my grandpa would say. And then my cousin Connie would tell everybody prayer time, and then we all meet up. But at the time, it was probably about 12, 13 of us living inside the same home, consisting of a couple aunts, my grandparents, my mom, and a few kids. So
You
that was my upbringing.
so your parents actually got a divorce?
Yes, they separated and then got a divorce. Yeah.
How did that impact you personally?
Um.
How
was-
old were you, first of all?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was probably 4 years old, so I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no memory of my dad. Like a couple things would stick out, but not much. So we didn't have a strong connection to him at the time. But we still missed him, and we wanted to be with him. He would come take leave and come visit us and take us places when we were kids. And so yeah, we knew him. He would call. We knew his voice, but yeah, it wasn't bad at that time. When I was 4, because we didn't know him that well.
Okay. But you did end up eventually going to live with your father, right?
Yeah, twice. That was crazy. That was crazy, because my dad was a drill sergeant
Oh,
in the army, right? And he grew up in a home. He had 10 siblings. And so he had a large family as well. And my grandmother, his mother, was into church as well. And so he grew up in church. So he had that foundation that he grew up with, and he implemented that into his parenting. And so, yes, we had that. And then we had the drill sergeant. So my dad was no fun, man. Like he would wake us up to clean it like Saturday morning, man, at 8 o'clock. And he got us cleaning under. We didn't even have no company. Why am I cleaning under the toilet? Like it's just me. Who am I trying to impress? Nope. You get up, clean the kitchen, everything, spick and span. And so we didn't like staying with my dad, man. Like I said, he would, all the fun and stuff that I have on social media now, he would comment on Facebook and telling people that I didn't get it from him. Like he's still on that stuff. Like, you okay, drill sergeant? We get your point. We know that fun gang over there, man. But no, it was good. Me and my brother, my younger brother, went to move with him once when I was in the 8th grade and once in the 10th grade. Both times for like 6 months. And so we appreciate that time, because him and my mom, they complete opposite. I did get my fun side from my mom, but I needed what he was bringing in too. I needed that father figure to come in and say, no, this is how you do it. He didn't have a family at the time, or he wasn't married at the time. My dad been married 3 times.
Oh.
So he know living with women. So we was he implemented some strong values in us during that short time. We found out later that was his purpose, because he was trying to make up for lost time.
Mm.
So So he was tough on us. He wishes that he had fun with us, but we tell him, nah, Dad, we appreciate because we needed you the way that you know, brought things to the table for me and my little brother. So we truly appreciative of, you know, Pop Dukes.
You mentioned your father, and I one thing I could never forget is you posted a video of y'all going to like a football game.
Right.
What was that experience like?
Wait, going to a football game
Yeah,
with him?
yeah, because I want to say it was like his birthday or something like that.
It was a picture, not a video.
No, it was a video.
Oh
Father,
yeah.
yeah,
I made a video. We didn't go to a. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't a football game, but I made a video for him, um, for his birthday, and it just consisted of, you know, our upbringing with
yeah.
and him. You know, he spanked us a couple of times. I put that in there. It was really hilarious. He didn't expect it, but it was just me, you know, making something for him to show people that, you know, he was deeply loved or is deeply loved, and you know, doing his thing with me and my younger brother when we was growing up. But yeah, that's what that was.
So how has he influenced you as a father?
Oh man, that is great question. Heavily impacted me as, you know, a father and how I raised my kids, because now I can take what my mother, first of all, who was a fabulous mother and raising three boys, she did an awesome job. So I definitely wanted to take, you know, a lot of things that she did in raising us and incorporate it into me being a parent. But my father, as a man, you know, and you know how stern he was, laying the foundation of discipline. That was his big thing, is, you know, you're gonna listen. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not gonna steer you in the wrong direction. Uh, just, you know, believe that I can lead you as as a father. And so I saw that those are the things that we are truly appreciative of him, and how he raised us. So I wanted, it was a must that I would add that to how I raised my kids, because I saw the um the difference or the impact that it could have on children. And it wasn't about being mean, you know, because my kids would even tell me that it was like, yo, you was kind of mean growing up, daddy. You was. And it's like, I get it, but y'all, they kids. Of course, they're gonna say that
Yeah.
I mean, and y'all get it later on. Same way,
Mhm.
you know, I thought my dad was mean growing up, but also had fun with him. So here's that, you know, what dad was saying. I wish I had more fun with y'all because I was more of a disciplinarian. But me, I can do that now. I can have fun because that's who I am anyway.
Right.
Is try to be fun. So yeah, that deeply impacted a lot of things that I do as a father.
You mentioned so one of the things you mentioned, like you would spend like months at a time with your father, but you're married and you've been married 25 years. Was that a big motivation to you to like make sure that you and your kids always stayed under the same roof?
Uh, hmm. Never looked at it like that. But what I did was I looked at the Cosbys. Well, I'm sorry, the Huxtables. You know, the Cosbys and the Huxtables, two different people.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because they had a show called The Cosbys, right?
Oh, they did, yeah,
Yes.
first, yeah.
No, after.
It was
The
after?
Huxtables.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, just I never looked at, maybe because I didn't see my dad or my mom. They had relationships. Like my dad was married, but I never really seen uh him as a married person in action to say, well, I'm not going to do it that way, or I am going to do it this way. But of course, I had influences around me in the neighborhood that I grew up in. Um, we had majority of the people, majority of the houses that was in my neighborhood, it was like all black people,
Mhm.
but the house consisted of single parent and then had the children. And then, so there was a few spread out throughout the neighborhood that had both parents. And I always looked at that and said, that's what I want right there. It just seemed like things was in order a little bit more, to have it, both parents to get two different perspectives uh, to help guide the kids along. So I would say just other influences around me kind of gave me that feeling that that's what I want, like, to keep my family, or that first of all have a family and then keep it as long as we have had it.
So would you say like that was like the blueprint you would follow more like other like seeing other people? Because you
Yeah.
said it yourself, like you really didn't have that. We know but your grandparents were together, right?
They were,
Okay.
they were.
So how was that? Would you feel like that was a good blueprint for you to follow?
It was, but I wasn't like, I was my grandfather. He didn't, of course, he didn't smoke. He didn't drink. He didn't listen to the worldly music, the secular
Secular
music.
music.
Yeah. Um, so none of that, and all of that stuff I was into, and so the partying and things of that nature. So yes, there was an aspect of seeing my grandmother and grandfather together that I liked, but I knew that I was different. Like, I knew I wasn't like him.
Mhm,
My grandfather is the greatest man I've ever known, ever. Greatest man alive,
mhm.
or greatest man I've ever met. Um, so there was no walking in his shoes at all. And then also, like I was saying, I was more into what they was doing outside. So uh, I took a lot of what my grandparents had in their marriage. My grandmother, she had she was senile
Uh-huh.
and had what's when you forget, I can't,
Dementia?
not dementia.
Alzheimer's?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Alzheimer's. And so um and she had that like for, shoot, almost around the time when we first moved in with them, when I was 4 or 5. And so it was a loving relationship, but it was still different. Uh, so yeah, yeah, yeah. But seeing them and the love that they have for one another was great to see.
Are you still, you said you grew up with like all these cousins and
Mm.
living, are y'all still close?
We are. As a matter of fact, we got a family reunion in Jersey next year. They switch it up because my grandparents were from North Carolina, and so every 2 years the family reunion would be down in North Carolina, in Ohio, and then on that fourth year it'd be in New Jersey. So yeah, we really close, man. I keep in contact with them, just like everybody else through Facebook. I got a cousin who lives close near here. We visited her like just last year, but yeah, we still tight, man. We all here too. That's another good thing. It was a lot of us, so um, we could easily make a trip up to New Jersey and have my kids uh, meet with their cousins, that because they didn't grow up. My kids didn't grow up with their cousins like we did, because
Oh,
they was military brats, man,
yeah.
and they kind of hate that. They like, but when they go, they have the time of their life, and so they, exchange numbers and stuff, and they keep in contact now. But they didn't grow up with them. Their family was their friends, who was
Okay.
in the same situation without their family. So, yeah, we still keep in contact though.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's what I actually was going to transition to, your military. And before I say anything, first of all, thank you for your service because you served the country for 20 years,
Yes,
dedicated. So thank you for that.
you're welcome.
How did you make the decision even going to the military?
Um, well, I had the car. Well, first my father was in,
Mhm.
and then my older brother, he was in at the time. Um, and which is crazy because my older brother, he's, public enemy, fight the power type of dude. And to see him join the military was like, okay. Uh, but I always had the recruiter's card from career day,
Mhm.
and I kept that in my wallet. And after I graduated, I moved to Atlantic City, New Jersey, which is where my homeboy that I graduated with from high school is from. And it's funny because we just had this conversation like less than a week ago. Our plan was to go to Atlantic City. His mom was into like politics and stuff down there. She did not like have a big rank, a big status of it, but she knew people.
Right.
So we thought we was gonna get a job at the casinos, which sound good for 18, 19 years old. But we had to pass the piss test, and we and we was having trouble in that department, and she wouldn't even let us go down there to take the test if we did, because we had to keep it real with her and tell her, nah, ma, we was last night. Okay, no, y'all in trouble. So we couldn't find jobs, and so because he was from Atlantic City, he had friends that was still there that he had before he moved up to Trenton, New Jersey.
Okay.
And he decided he wanted to go get money the fast way. And I ain't gonna say what he did or what he was doing, but he came back and he threw some money on the bed. He the other day told me it was $100. It was like $20, man. He told me, he said, you could get that. He said, you come out here with me, you could get that. And I'm like, that's $20. I ain't say nothing to him. He told me the other day it was $100. Okay. But I knew immediately I was out of there, Atlanta. I went into my pocket, pulled out that card. I called him up. I said, get me out of here, man. Wow. And so I moved back home and did the delayed entry for probably 6 months. Enjoyed one last summer, and then I was off to Fort Leonard Wood in August of '96.
How'd your dad feel about you joining?
He was happy. He was
Okay.
happy. I'm junior. You know what I'm saying? So he was very happy that I made that decision. And so he didn't talk a lot about it, but he wrote me letters all the time. Him and my mom, they wrote me while I was in basic training, and that really helped. If you got somebody that's away, man, send them a letter. They may not ask it, but that letter means everything. You remember mail call, road, whatever and they they call your name? Because I had some days where they ain't call my name, man, and I'm like,
Oh man.
yeah, no, that is the hurtful feeling, man. But yeah, he was happy though. Him and my mom was very happy.
Okay.
And then I told my mom I selected the job, medical supply. She went and told everybody it's going to be a doctor in the family. I said, nah, we got to get the needles to the doctor, ma. I ain't sticking no for real. She said, nah, that's close enough. She telling her we got a doctor in the family.
Look, to be fair to her, they can't do their job without you. So
That's true. Right. So there's a link.
And of course, you finished basic and all that stuff. Did you ever have to go to combat or anything?
I deployed in 2011 2011 to 2012 to Afghanistan, where it was still kind of rough there. I was medical supply. I'm sorry. By this time, I became unit supply after reclassing, and so I was stationed at a place where we was responsible for getting supplies out to the camps where my unit was. So that's what my job consists of. But I did have to go out there with them a couple of times and go on the road and convoys and all of that. And that was rough. But yeah, Afghanistan's my only deployment.
Man, was you scared out there?
Yeah, man. Especially when they put me on the road. But by this time, like I'm halfway through the deployment, my unit, they used to it. So they rolling on these roads and like this is really Afghanistan now. And so I'm in the back, I'm looking out the window like, this is it, man. I ain't gonna. And they like, they can see it on my face. They, yo, relax, man. We do this every day. This is your first time. I'm like, nah, man. Get me out of here. So no, it was scary, but there was people out there, soldiers out there, like on the ground, getting out of the trucks and doing some real crazy stuff. So it took me a while to get used to it, but that's the only kind of thing. I've never been on a convoy where somebody was injured. We got hit or something like that. So
Thank God.
thank God, absolutely.
And look, I don't. I ain't. It's great that you here. You survived. Look, nobody need those war stories.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
It's good if you don't got it.
yeah, the pay gonna be the same.
Yeah.
The whole mission is to make it home.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
did you have kids at that time?
Yes, which played a role in me getting out. I got out the very next year because I didn't want to do that no more, man. It was cool because my wife was holding down the fort. And like I'm saying, that because she had a military background, she kind of knew, what I was going through and the time I was going to be away. She adjusted very well.
Okay.
So it wasn't that she couldn't handle it. Like a lot of military spouses, when the breadwinner leaves and goes off to do a deployment, they stuck and they hurt. And they got programs in place to help them out and stuff, but emotionally it's tough for these spouses who just not lost their husband, but husband left for a little while. My wife was different. She was getting up every day, taking them to 2 different daycares, going to work, um, going to church, taking them to Bible study, all of this stuff, man. And she did that for a year. She didn't never complain once. So shout out to her for doing that. But it was me that said, I'm missing these moments. Because my daughter, she was at the time, she was about 6. And I could just remember how much she grew up in 1 year, and I seen her, and I was just like, nah, I done missed too much. I'm gonna get out. And so, but I got out and joined the reserves. And so, yeah.
Was you nervous about getting out? Because a lot of people after serving 8-9 years, and you like, okay, I'm gonna transition to do what?
Yeah.
So was you nervous about that?
I was. And my wife, she was kind of, I can't say she was like skeptical, but she was just asking me the same thing. You sure? Because when I was in the reserves before, I wasn't going in like that. Like, I'm like, nah, man, I know I signed this contract, but I don't want to go in this weekend. And then it was just a point of me saying, I ain't even call nobody. I got lucky though. Yeah, no, I was this close to getting put out. And luckily she got orders to go to Germany, which they didn't have a unit over there for me, so they put me in IRR status, which means I just have to call in and check in with them like every few months.
Oh, okay.
With the Army, not with a unit, because they don't have a unit for me. So I kind of got let off the hook. So that's what she remembered when I told her, I think I'm gonna get out. And then she was like, you sure? And then what you gonna do and all of this stuff. And it just worked out. I just knew I didn't want to be in no more. And it worked out for me. I didn't have a big plan. I didn't have a degree or nothing, college degree. I just had my military experience. And so leaning on all of that, took a leap of faith and had it worked out. I got busy on, like, I was one of the sharpest dudes in my the class that they give you, ACAPing. It's a class that they give you to get you prepared for like resumes and how to interview and stuff like that. Took it super serious. So I used my contacts. That's the reason why we came back to this area, because I was stationed here and I knew some people and I was leaning on that. So I went up to Bethesda, went to a few places in the area, clinics where I knew that people worked. Yo, I'm about to put in a resume. I see you got a job opening. And then I got,
You know what? Now that when you said that, I had a flashback. I think I remember seeing you during that time.
probably, man.
Like,
Yeah.
all dressed up and stuff.
Brother had to go get a tie, man. Yeah. Yep, I went up there. I spoke to somebody, excuse me, that worked in the warehouse. I was an older gentleman. And then Wendy and them, I can't think of this guy's name either.
Mr. Atwater?
He was like a white guy, but he kind of looked like he had black features. That's all the only way. If you say his name, I can remember. But he worked up there with uh, Mr. Johnson and all of these people.
This is the old Walter Reed.
The old Walter Reed, yeah. Not inside the main hospital, but the little, like we had a something on like the 3rd or 4th floor.
Oh,
Where the admin and all of these people work. But yeah. Yeah, and I got hit up. Wendy, she was like, they have something down there for you in Fort Myers, Virginia.
okay.
And yeah, and did that.
When did you become comfortable with your decision to get out?
Almost immediately.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take this candy out. I didn't realize I wanted to crunch it.
You got.
Almost immediately, man. Yeah, it was something that I wanted to do. So I was kind of like, I felt free too, after you got to wake up and go to PT formation and do all of these. I was like, I'm good. And I landed a job. Yeah, it worked. So yeah, it was almost immediately, man. It felt like it was a great decision. Money took a hit because, of course, the benefits with the military is what pays you.
Yeah.
It ain't really the money, but benefits is good. So we slowly got used to that transition into finding the right medical coverage, dental, and all of this stuff. And because I was in the reserves, that was the life insurance. So that was pretty cool with it. Not too long after I got out.
I'm gonna ask you something because you got 2 kids, but I'm gonna ask about your daughter because I got a daughter, and you've already experienced what I'm going through. So what's it like to raise a girl, man?
It's different because I look at that thing that Deion Sanders say all the time. He be like, this is my favorite. He called all his kids his favorite, but they different, and so it's kind of like that thing. Like you have to approach a girl different with a little bit more delicateness. Um, and but it is great because my daughter, she is very upfront. She helped me out a lot because there was certain things that I never really wanted to talk about. I just wanted to give it to my wife and have her do it. Like when she got her period the first time, and my wife told me, and I was like, oh, okay, man, that's messed up.
You said his match. Your wife said it's messed up.
No, I said, oh, what you want me to say? And then she was like, she want to talk to you. Like, what?
Really? She wanted to talk. Like, I hate to interrupt your story, and bruh, I hate to interrupt your story, but I promise you, when I was walking down here, when I was walking to where we doing the interview, that is literally one of the things I thought about. I was like, I don't want to ask him about it,
Yeah.
but I've always been interested because I remember how I was feeling when I found out that my daughter was starting her cycle. And I was like, I didn't know how to feel. So I'm glad to know it just wasn't.
Oh no, it ain't, man. It ain't. Cause this is like my heart dropped. Like, oh, like dang. I don't want my baby to go through pain and all of this stuff. I'm
Yeah.
cause I don't know what it's like to experience that. So I'm just thinking, man, her life, she about to be in trouble. So she wanted to talk to me, and I'm like, I said, why? And she said, I don't know. I go in there, and she's sitting on the bed, she giggling and stuff. I'm serious. I'm like, you all right? She was like, yeah. And so I was like, I don't know what to say, but I said, if you ever need anything, you come holler at me. It's gonna be some. I can go to the store. So I don't know I'm just blurting out stuff. There's gonna be some good days or some bad ones where you're gonna hurt. Take some medicine. And she was just like, and then that was it. She didn't even say nothing, man. She just wanted to tell me. But we've always been that way. Like she tells me a lot, and sometimes, like I said, it's a little bit, too much to not to handle, but like when it's just given to you straightforward.
Mm.
My wife, my daughter, she don't give me no time to process stuff, man. Like when she dating dudes and stuff. Well, I say dudes. She only dated 2 dudes, but I'm so happy that she's been with the same guy since she graduated from high school, and so that's cool. And I kind of get like because we so close. There's been times where I kind of got in their business a little bit more than I wanted to, but
Mhm.
and so I kind of had to wake up because somebody was telling me you don't want her to not tell you.
Yeah.
So you don't want to overreact and be, daddy, because I always been the protector of my family, like the enforcer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, even for my son, like somebody messing with you on a bus stop, I'm coming there, But you have to let your kids like grow up and figure it out kind of thing. So so yeah, that's our relationship, and it's been great, man. She's super dope. She super energetic, and yeah, it's a great thing, man.
But as a dad, like, how does it make you feel to know, like, because that's a beautiful thing that she's that comfortable where she can actually talk to you.
Yeah,
So how does that make you feel?
make me feel good, man. Feel very proud. Because I know so many guys. First of all, a lot of guys have trouble. Fathers have trouble, raising their kids or even being involved
Mhm.
in, the child's life, not just child's life, not just the daughter, but sons as well. So it's a privilege, man, because this is something that you help create this child, and so to be involved and have them come up to you asking you questions. And I actually got that perspective part from two different parents. I said earlier from her. She said that. She says it all the time. Like, and they use it to their advantage because they have both parents in the house. Um, they got their own little text group. I know they do. And they all got me saved as him. And oh, okay, it's cool. But so I'm happy that knowing that sometimes I could be the daddy. Like no, I say no first before I even dissect what it is that they asking me. I'm still grateful that both of my kids could come up to me and talk to me about what's going on in their lives. So it's dope.
I know you're not big on advice, but what advice would you give me to help me with my daughter?
Yeah, just it depends on your daughter too, like because like I was saying about being in a relationship with anybody, it's that person, it's those people that are going through it. So those personalities gotta weigh that first. You know who your daughter is, so there's you know what's going on. But advice, shoot, man. Other than just, being there for them and loving her, uh just be patient. You know what I mean? Trust that they, listen to you and all of the advice that you give them. Because dating is a totally different thing. It's a beast, man. When you just think about your baby girl out there, and you know how dudes are.
Mhm.
So you gotta understand that dudes is gonna be dudes. Like you were growing up. You know what I mean? And all of this stuff. So um yeah, just be patient with them, man, and love them. That's all I could say, man. I'm trying to find something a little bit more, but yeah, it's kind of with me. It's the same with my son, both of my kids. It just so happens that my daughter, she out there, she doing the most right now. So it's coming,
Yeah.
a real fast pace. So
When you were younger, like let's say like 19, 20, did you envision your life turning out like this?
no, because I was really quiet and somewhat shy. Uh, and I never, man, I love that question, brother. Never saw myself here, speaking, trying to speak as good as I can because like I said earlier, with the stuttering thing going on, I was always impressed by people in school, the people who was raising their hands and asking questions and answering it so quick with it. That was not me. And I always admired people who could public speak and get up and do things that they want to do because it can open up so many doors, just overcoming your fears of whatever's holding you back. And that was me. I was scared to speak. I really just wanted to speak to my family, my cousins and close friends. Stranger, I don't even want to talk to you. So to see me now and the growth that I've had, and especially doing the social media thing, um, I had somebody tell me the other day that I went to middle school with. Yo, I had no idea, man, that you could do this stuff, man. And that puts a smile on my face because I couldn't see me doing it either back
Yeah.
then. So, just doing stuff like that, overcoming fears, having a family, um, and health being good at the age of 49 is great, man. Got a lot more to go, got a lot of growing to do, but to be here today, in the position that I'm at, truly blessed and super grateful.
I want to close with this. What does joy look like for you?
Joy, uh, peace, man. Peace is probably the biggest thing. Um, it's so crazy in the world that, you got people out there that's purposely trying to bring you down.
Yeah.
Um, and like it could be somebody that you don't even know. They just see a smile on your face, lamp, and be like, I want to take that smile away from you. So guarding my peace is my most joy. Uh, it's also a reason why I really don't even look to consider doing anything other than what I'm doing on social media right now, meaning getting into acting, getting into, I don't know, doing comedy. Like somebody asked me before, like you should do stand-up comedy. I'm really don't want to entertain none of that because my peace, I'm in a pretty good position to where, like say I didn't have the money, and it was like, yo, I gotta go out there to get this gig
Mhm.
so I could pay these bills, and the Steve Harvey story, sleeping in the car stuff. I get that grind, because that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Um, It'd be cool if I could do something like that, but my peace, man, is making these videos at home, having my wife, my kids get involved with it from time to time, and just seeing people happy. That brings me joy as well. So I try to do my part to put a smile on somebody's face through the skits that I do, and that really helps me. But yeah, peace and just happiness on others. That's where I'm at with mine.
Hey, listen, bro. Thank you so much for coming through doing this. Like I said earlier, man, because you got a huge following. You got people that, like you said, you bring joy to them and laughter.
Mhm.
So for you to take the time to do this for me, man, I really appreciate it, man. You've been the same person since I know you, man, and for real, man, thank you. And I really do love you, bro, because you bring a lot of joy to people.
Love you,
And
man.
ever since I met you, man, even though you're probably the nicest Eagles fan I ever met in my life, I really wanted to kill you one day. Tell me something. Good luck. I said, "You get the fuck out of here with that foolishness."
No, man, that was from the heart, man. Like I joke on the Cowboys. My dad is a Cowboy fan.
Is he?
Yeah. He got two teams. He lives in Washington, so he likes Seattle too. Yeah, he flip flopping, man. But no, when it's all said and done, I'm the type of fan that, like, I'm gonna root against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. But even if y'all made it to the Super Bowl, there's nothing that would put a smile on my face more than to see y'all lose in the Super Bowl. But if you wind up winning, I could look at these guys. I could look at Dak and say, "I'm happy for you, man," because I know your journey. Everybody has a story.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
on that team. So even though I didn't want y'all to win, my consolation is seeing that you happy, man. And that's that good luck. What I said, like that was from the heart, man.
You really can't tell. But seriously, bro.
But I hope y'all lose tomorrow, though.
I know you do. And look, I do, man, but for real, bro, I do, man. I appreciate you because you, for real, you have been the same brother since I met you, man. And that's I can't put the words, but like I said, bro, I love you for real, man. And I'm just happy to see everything you're doing. And it's always a pleasure to just catch up with you, man. So thank you.
Likewise, man. You're welcome at any time, brother.
Hey, before we end this, clear, even though you already got like 400 something thousand followers, make sure you tell the people like how they can follow you.
Yeah, it's Robert Williams Films across all platforms. That's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I just started a Facebook page a year ago.
You just started it?
A year ago. So yeah, I put same videos on there pretty much. But yep, that's how you can find me, and hopefully y'all can come up there and visit and get some joy and some laughter off of some of the skits I'm putting out there.
And again, man, thank you so much for doing it. And also, man, again, I said it earlier, but thank you for your service, man. Because that takes a lot of dedication and sacrifice from yourself and your family.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that as
Thank
well.
you for your support, bro.
Yes, sir. I want to take the time to thank everyone for listening. I truly appreciate your support. You can follow me on Instagram at conversations_with_Lant. My Facebook is also Conversations with Lant. You can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts, and you can watch the podcast on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Again, thank you all for your support. Have a great day.